If you looked at BeamNG Drive Steam charts right now, you'd notice something. The player count keeps going up. How does BeamNG Drive maintain their players? And how does this compare to other racing games? Let's take a look at Forza Horizon 5 Steam charts. You see, in the beginning it had a lot of players, and then over a couple months it just lost almost all of them. Now they are doing sort of good now because you could see those spikes there, but that's only because of DLCs. Let's look at Need for Speed Unbound, which is pretty much a dead game now. Now they actually started off pretty good. They used to be in the double digits, but just like Forza Horizon 5, over time they lost most of their players. Now they are doing okay now because of new updates, but many game critics are saying those updates are terrible and they're making players lose interest in the game. Did you notice a pattern there? All AAA racing games lose their players fast. But why? And how does BeamNG Drive maintain all their players and never lose them? That's what this video is about. I'm going to go over how BeamNG Drive never loses its players, and in the end of today's video, I'm going to talk about how AAA racing games like Forza Horizon 5 or Need for Speed lose all their players over time. Hello everyone and welcome back to BeamNG Drive. Scary Harry Larry here. So like I said in the intro, BeamNG Drive never loses its players. Not only does it ever lose its players, but it also gains players too. But how? I'm going to go over 5 reasons how the game does that. The 5th reason is the game never gets old and never gets boring. How though? When you first get BeamNG Drive, you don't have to play a story. You're not forced to play these boring missions to progress through the game. That's what I love about sandbox games. You could jump straight in and you could do whatever you want. In BeamNG Drive, once you get your car, you could do whatever you want with it. So, here's an example of a game that gets boring over time. Watch Dogs. Once you go in the game and start playing, you're forced to play these missions to progress through the game. Once you're done with all those missions, the game gets boring. Everything about the game you've already done before. The map, the weapons, the cars, you've already done all of them. In BeamNG Drive, every day you could find new stuff. New car customization parts, new maps, new Easter eggs. That's what I love about BeamNG Drive. It never gets boring. When a player finds that the game is getting more and more boring, they could stop playing more and maybe even quit the game. That's one reason why BeamNG Drive never gets boring and keeps their players. The game just never gets boring. Now, this is the 4th reason. BeamNG Drive has a massive variety of cars. Now, there's only about 30-40 cars in BeamNG Drive, I'm not really sure. That's nothing compared to Forza Horizon 5's 500 cars. But each car has lots of variants. And all those variants are insane. There's just a lot of variety in the cars. Have you ever wanted to drive a bus with rockets attached to the back? Well, in BeamNG Drive, you can. Have you ever wanted to drive a car with a porta potty attached to the back of it? Well, in BeamNG Drive, you can. Have you ever wanted to drive an amphibious car that could float on water? Well, in BeamNG Drive, you can. If you want to drive a car, but it's not in the game, don't worry. You could make it in the part selection menu. That's what most of us love about BeamNG Drive. The amount of cars that are just in the game. And if you want to make a car, well, you can make whatever you want in the customization menu. And if you want, you could even post it. And so other people could download it and drive it. Number 3 is BeamNG Drive is a place for every kind of car person. Here's what I mean by this. So let's say you love playing rally racing games, but you're kind of tired of rally racing right now, so you decide that you want to drive a Formula 1 car. So you would need to exit your Dirt Rally 2.0 session and move to F1 2022. Do you like off-roading? Well, it's in BeamNG Drive. Do you like street racing? It's in BeamNG Drive. Do you like sim racing? Well, it's in BeamNG Drive. Do you like driving trucks? Well, in BeamNG Drive, you can. So, do you see what I'm trying to say here? BeamNG Drive, you don't really have to leave the game to play a different type of car driving. You could stay in BeamNG Drive for a long time. That's how the game has a super high player count all the time. You never know. Since there's so much things to do in BeamNG Drive could get you into something different that you've never tried before. This next one is about frequent updates. Unlike some AAA racing games, Forza Horizon 5, BeamNG Drive always listens to its player base. Whatever the players request, chances are that it's going to be added in the next update. Now, BeamNG Drive has a lot of updates now. Very frequent updates, actually. Every 3 months they update. And that just increases the player count, since there's more and more things to do each update, and lots of new things. BeamNG Drive players have a lot more to do whenever an update drops. And usually all those updates are very good. They add a lot of stuff BeamNG Drive has never had before. That's how BeamNG Drive is just so good most of the time. Next update is probably going to be a big update because it's 0.30. And it's probably going to bring a lot of new players in the game. Now, the BeamNG Drive developers are awesome. Who knows what they're going to add next? They probably have a lot of stuff planned for the future, and I cannot wait to see what they have next. This is the #1 reason why BeamNG Drive is successful. Mods. BeamNG Drive just has so many mods. While most games don't allow modding and ban players for using mods, BeamNG Drive encourages it. BeamNG Drive has a lot of new mods every day created by the community. Now, there are just so many mods in BeamNG Drive. Anything you could think of, it's probably modded in the game. And mods are so easy to get in the game. You don't have to go to sketchy websites. They're just in the menu that's included in the base game. Just imagine BeamNG Drive without mods. How boring it would be. Mods make BeamNG Drive so much better in every way you could think of. I'm so glad the community makes so much amazing mods. So that's how BeamNG Drive has so much players all the time. So AAA racing games, they always lose their players. What could be the solution to this? To add mod support. It's so easy to implement in any game. Now, most AAA racing games have some mods, but they are very hard to get, and sometimes you could get banned for using them. AAA racing games should be more mod friendly. That way, more people play the game, and it will obviously make them more money. Because that's the reason why AAA racing games are made, for money. So that's the solution to AAA racing games losing their players. Mods in racing games like those could really improve the game. So there you have it. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next BeamNG Drive video.